Yo, happy December 1st, everybody. Let's go. All right. Waiting on Facebook's jumping in right now. Insta's coming. Yes, here we go. What's up, Instagram? Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. Happy December 1st. All right. Hey, 1 month left in the year. 1 month left. How crazy is this? Good morning. Morning, friends. Good morning, Pali from India. Apkaise ho. That's about all I know. Apkaze ho, and I know hamache he. Good morning, Jebra88. Hello, Giselle. Morning, Boxer Love 08. Good morning, Sarah Wilson and Don Alberti. Maracas 73. What's up, Pennsylvania? Holy smokes, first snowstorm tomorrow. Oh my gosh, Miss Maddie 52. I'm good. Thank you, my friend. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yo, happy Monday, S. Gudge. What up, Salt Lake City? Becky Jean. Naperville, Illinois. I see London's here. Good morning, Almondiro. There we go. Yo, what's up, Dixie Girl? San Diego. Man, I'm jealous. I can do San Diego right now. Good morning, Canada. What up, Christina? And I see Leslie. Michael Bullard. What's up, dude? And good morning, Lindsay. All right, guys. Let's rock and roll. All right. Oh, Sarah Wilson. So she's in the collective with us, and we made this apple pie oatmeal bake yesterday with this. It's like a brown sugar oat crumble. Holy smokes! It actually turned out so well. It was absolutely delicious. And Sarah said she loved the apple pie bake. It was great for breakfast today. Awesome. That is. I did my typical shake as usual, and I did one of those Sola bagels. Guys, I'm hooked on that Sola bread. If y'all haven't tried it, I don't know where I've been, because the moment I posted about it, everyone's like, yeah, I've been eating this for a long time. It's the best. Hooked on this stuff. If you guys don't know what it is, man, they make the like high protein breads. They're super high in fiber as well. And they're so soft and they're delicious and they're freaking amazing. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sarah's a big fan of Sola. It's so good. Guys, that's what we're doing all of our French toast with, like high protein French toast. By the way, listen to this. And I have no relationship with Sola, but if there's a great product, I'm going to tell you guys about it. So I started getting the Sola white bread for the kiddos. There's 10 grams of protein per slice. And it's like, I think it's 6 or 7 grams of fiber. And, the kids have always liked honey whole wheat bread, from Sara Lee. And I made them a peanut butter jelly sandwich with that Sola bread. That's all they want now. So even this morning, I was like, hey guys, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Their peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just the bread alone is 20. They're getting 20 grams of protein, which is amazing. So I hope you guys get that stuff internationally. If you don't, then they need to start making it out there. Speaking of the international, Justine, what's up in New Zealand? Yo. Oh, good. Michael Bullard, he says he loves the ebook that he won last week. It's awesome. Brother, I'm so glad. Enjoy the recipes. 120 recipes. Enjoy all of them. And it comes with the beginner's guide now, and it shows you how to. Secretly, there's little Easter eggs that we put in every single recipe, and that's why we just launched the beginner's guide, because at the top of every recipe, there's a badge that says high carb, low carb. The beginner's guide shows you how to take all those recipes and then carb cycle them so you can actually create a program. It's got a link to a calculator, determine your targets, and you're off to the races. And you can actually use these recipes to maintain weight, to lose weight, whatever it is that you want to do. I'm so glad. Enjoy. And by the way, it's our last day of the Black Friday sale. So normally it's $27. It's only 17 today. So I've got Shine on right now. She'll drop a link down below if anyone's interested. Last day of the Black Friday sale. So anyway, I appreciate the support, Michael, man. Enjoy those recipes. That's all we eat around here, me and the kiddos. All right. Yes, Jessica. She just got it yesterday. Amazing, my friend. I hope you absolutely love it. It's all comfort food recipes. And so it's just like, man, I'm so sick of the whole chicken and broccoli and rice thing. Admittedly, I did that for years. I did it for 20 something years, maybe 15. Then I started getting creative with meal prep, and it opened up a whole new world. And then the Ninja Creamy came along and all these other amazing like technologies. And then, of course, the air fryer. Holy smokes. And now we're doing pizzas and burritos. And, I mean, you can have all kinds of fun. And also, hey, guys, admittedly, I was a zealot. I lived on approved lists of you can't eat this, you can't eat that, no artificial flavors, no artificial this, no artificial that. And then all of a sudden I started diving into the research, and people can get as upset as they want, but I started diving into it. And it's like, oh, these can be really amazing tools to really make calorie control a lot easier and not make it feel like you're deprived. And ever since I started doing that, eating was just, and everything just became so much more enjoyable. So I hope you love it. I hope you love it. Yes, Sarah, we've come a long way since chicken and broccoli. But you know what's crazy? There's so many people that are still stuck in that mindset. Now, granted, if you're like a bodybuilder or something, and I spent years in that world, yeah, then fine tuning your body for the last month or so, great, knock yourself out. But you can still get pretty darn dialed in with Jell-O pudding, and protein shakes, blending them together to make a delicious chocolate pudding or tapioca. Anyway, guys, I will absolutely run on this one because it's just, it's important stuff, and it works. That's what I'm all about. Look, I'm not all about, training the most elite athletes. I'm just about helping people create a lifestyle that's sustainable, that's going to allow them to lose the weight and then eventually keep it off. Like that's what it's all about for me. So good morning. I see Italy's in the house. Wow. What up? Grandi Selenad in Italy. Guess what? I'm taking my kiddos to Italy in March for the first time. I've never been. I cannot wait. And so we're going to go on a trip to Italy, and I'm so excited. I'll fill y'all in. Well, I might actually have to take a break from the one Monday. I'll need a break because we're going to be in Italy, but I will take y'all along for the ride with us as we're going through it. Oh, official Becky Jean, where do I get this bread? You get Sola bread at Walmart. I literally just order it from Walmart, but you can get it on Amazon and all that. Steph, good morning, my friend. I hope you're doing okay. I see the blue heart. I'm sending you lots of positive vibes. Okay, here we go. Rock and roll, guys. Hey, I got a question for you. Question of the day. I'm going to add it to the stage right now. Real quick, please drop it in below. What's your favorite holiday movie? And I asked because I was me and the kiddos, we did a little holiday movie grind over the weekend. And we started with Elf, and I posted about that one. And then we finished off with, we didn't make it all the way through last night, but he showed him Die Hard. Dad of the year, right? Trust me, it's nothing they haven't heard or seen already. Trust me. I'm definitely known when I get fired up about stuff, I'm definitely known to drop a few 4-letter words here and there. So we did Elf and then Die Hard. And by the way, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? You tell me. Okay, here we go. I see. Oh, yeah, Richie, Christmas Story. Dawn, Elf. Yep, can't go wrong there. Jingle All the Way. Gerard. Yep. Pete says Home Alone. Christina says Elf. Let me see. Laura says The Holiday. Okay, I see a lot of Elf on here. I'm running over here to Instagram. Here we go, Insta. Miss Zarichi. Oh, I've always have a tough one with this one. MK Zarzicki. Maybe it's Zarzicki. Anything on Hallmark. Here we go. James, what up, dude? Says Scrooge with George C. Scott. Home Alone 2. Yes. Grinch with Jim Carrey, says Nanook. Here we go. Oh, Giselle, Nightmare Before Christmas. I see. Oh, Nene Owl, what's up, my friend? Hey, how are you liking your prize, your giveaway? I hope you're loving it. I hope you're making some delicious ice cream, by the way. She won the creamy swirl just the other week. Okay, here we go. And guys, today I'm going to be giving away 3 deliciously fit books with the beginner's guide to carb cycling. Giving away 3. So jump in here. Let's participate. Okay, here we go. I see lots of Home Alone. I see quite a few of The Grinch. Thank you, Boxer Love 08. She says Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I want to agree with you. I didn't give you my opinion earlier, but I absolutely agree. I think it's every Christmas, it's a regular thing for me. So now here's the thing. Okay, full disclosure, Cash and I did watch Die Hard last year, but this year we brought Ruby in on the mix. and she loves this kind of stuff. She's way more, she's definitely like all about action, adventure, stuff like that. So it was great so far. We just didn't finish it. Okay, lots of Home Alone here. And I agree. We haven't done Home Alone yet this year. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Die Hard. Okay, right, Steph? Die Hard and Love Actually. I love it. Okay. Guys, thank you for participating. This is awesome. All right, next. Okay, big question. Okay, this is for everyone who was here last week. For everyone who was here last week, here's the question. How many of you successfully navigated the holidays? There were the holiday triggers that we covered last week. And remember, I hope you guys remember what Thanksgiving was all about. It's about just, look, enjoy yourself and then get right back on track Friday. Real quick, even before we go here, hold on, I'm going to remove this. How many of you got back on track on Friday? And now's a great time to be honest. And by the way, there's no shame in this. Because remember, you can never go into the past. All we have is right now in this moment and moving forward. How many of you were able to get back on track on Friday after Thanksgiving? And whatever that is to you, maybe it's hitting your water targets. Maybe it was just walking again. Maybe it was hitting your calorie targets. Whatever it was. Did you go back to taking those steps to get you closer to where you want to go? Nice, Kelly. Good. Way to go, Morocco73. Holy smokes, Gerard. Way to go. Yes. Good job, guys. Good job. And by the way, if you didn't, that's okay too, because we've always got right now. Wonderful, Kim. Yes. And by the way, Kim says she was on vacation. Kim, I hope you enjoyed every moment on that vacation. And the moment, and here's the thing, guys, when I take the kids to Italy, we're going to have a great time, and there's going to be zero tracking. There's going to be nothing like that for an entire week. An entire week. In the grand scheme of things, will that throw anything off? No. You're on vacation, go enjoy yourself. The key is to get right back on track as soon as you are ready, but you establish it. Plan the time, enjoy yourself. Because remember, if it's planned, there's peace around it. If it's unplanned and you're just kind of going by the seat of your pants, no, that's chaos. And that's a lot of stress, and that stress will absolutely lead to a downward spiral. Yay. D Rose, my friend, Diana, let's go. And great job again about navigating those holiday triggers. Way to go. Steph, I know you're doing your best. Hang in there, my friend. I know it. Okay, let me see. I'm going to give kudos to, MK Zarzicki. Yes, got back on track on Friday. Way to go, Rach Talise. I love it. I love it. And Tanya said it worked out good. I think Tanya's talking about the holiday triggers. I'm so glad we covered this. And remember, guys, we ain't out of the woods yet. That's just Thanksgiving is over. We still got all the holiday parties. And then guess what? Family's coming back for Christmas. So get ready. There's going to be more triggers coming, and we're going to cover them again so that everybody here is 1000% prepared and ready. Beautiful. Miss Angel. Yeah, I'm so glad you did your Disney vacay. That's so awesome. And you're home and back on track, and you watched a ton of Disney. That's incredible. Stone Girl 99. Great job, my friend. Oh, I love it. I love it. Mahinder Molly. Hello. All right, here we go. Sarah, feeling good about Thanksgiving weekend eating and hydration. I love this. Okay, and Andrea, yep, judgment was navigated. Beautiful. So let's go back to that right now. Let's go right back to that. And by the way, guys, great job. Just great. I hope you just take a moment, and you don't even need to hear it from me. Just take a moment, take a deep breath in, and give yourself a pat on the back for getting back on track. Those truly are like just getting back up and getting back on track those are the muscles that we really need to train in transformation. They are. Those are the muscles of resilience. Because if you're going to do transformation the right way, you're going to fall off track a million times. The right way to do it is to learn how to get back on track. That's it. Anyone who's successful in the long term for life, that's all they do. They just keep getting back on track. And as long as you can keep doing that, you will get to where you want to go. That's the key. So this is wonderful, guys. Great job all around. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add this back to stage so we can talk about it. Okay, so real quick, for those of you And I'm asked this because we covered this last week and we're going to cover this again. We're going to cover the holiday triggers. All right. And those holiday triggers, as a quick reminder, and my question is, how many of you successfully navigated, who were here last week, how many of you successfully navigated those holiday triggers last week? And as a quick reminder, here's those triggers. All right. They are the judgment loop, the conflict zone, the perfectionist trap, and the comparison game. The judgment loop. That is, well, doesn't look like you lost weight, or maybe you losing weight. I don't know what's going on. Or, you know what? The way you should parent your kids like this. And, can you please get them under control? Because this, it's like this constant nitpicking, and it always seems to happen with our family, or not so much with our close friends or anything, but just when family gets involved, they just judge, nitpick and these little digs all the time. Then the conflict zone, I mean, we all know where that goes, where people bring up past feuds in the family, past beefs that you might have had with your siblings or an aunt or an uncle or your parents, or, someone brings up politics, heaven forbid, or whatever might be happening in the world. And sure enough, it's an all-out war. It happens with almost every family. So just be aware of that. The perfectionist trap, that's to all the people, all the hosts out there who think they have to throw the perfect party, the perfect Thanksgiving, the perfect holiday party coming up, the perfect Christmas party. Remember, they just want you. They don't want perfect. Really important to keep that in mind. But these are powerful triggers that will actually they will take you into a downward spiral where you're going to start falling back into some destructive habits, because this causes emotional suffering. And when you feel that emotional suffering, remember, a lot of times when you start reaching for food, alcohol, drugs, heaven forbid, whatever it is, when you start using destructive behaviors, you're trying to solve a problem. You're trying to ease the pain of suffering. And this conflict, these triggers, these holiday triggers, they cause that suffering. And so if you're aware of them, then we can use different tactics to navigate around them. And then, of course, the comparison game. It's when you're sitting around and all of a sudden your brother-in-law is more successful than you are, and your sister just got her doctorate, and then you're scrolling on social media and it's all these, completely edited people, on vacation in Morocco, and you're like, oh, my life just sucks. And you're comparing yourself to everybody else. First of all, that ain't real. You guys, I literally just posted about this. None of that stuff is real. It's getting worse. I don't know if you've experienced it, but it's getting worse on social media. To the point where it's just, don't even get me started. So anyway, to go back to the tactics that we use to navigate around that, remember, and upcoming, we're in the belly of the beast when it comes to holiday parties and these triggers, my friends. Breathing, box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. It's probably one of the best things you can do. 60 seconds of that will completely calm you down, put you in a really good place, so you can really start to think rationally again and not reactively. And then from there, step outside. If you can remove yourself from the situation, from the conflict, from the judgment, from the perfectionism, from the comparison, step outside, walk. It's probably one of the best things you can do. Don't take my word for it, guys. And by the way, I didn't come up with any of this. Literally, you should just do some research on the power of breathing. Breathing is the fastest way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system to calm you down. It's the fastest way to do that outside of intravenous drugs. I mentioned this last week. And I'm not saying to do drugs. I'm just intravenous drugs, especially. But no, I'm just saying, I'm trying to give an example of how effective it is. And it's right here, and we can all do it, and it's free. Breathe. Deep breath in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. If you could just simply do that, it is the fastest way to calm yourself down. So again, breathing, step outside and walk. And then if you can, try to reframe. Reframe, stop projecting and stop allowing all this energy to get sucked outside of you, and bring it back to you and your journey. Because that's the only thing that matters, guys, is you and your journey. So I hope you're all very well prepared for what's to come, because again, we got 25 more days of holiday parties. So get ready, guys. This is 3.5 weeks that it's time to navigate. So let's rock and roll. Here we go. I'm going to get down to the bottom of these. Welcome all my friends that just joined on Insta. Hello. So I'm going to give you guys a little kudos right now. Gretchen, way to go. She had no need for seconds or dessert. Well, way to go, my friend. MK Zarzicki, proud that you enjoyed Thanksgiving and sent all the leftovers away so you could get back on track. Wonderful. Or I hope some of you actually use those Thanksgiving leftovers. I gave you all like 16 recipes that you can do with your leftovers. Here we go. Box breathing. Wendy, yes. Yes. Wendy was box breathing through the whole thing. And I'm telling you, don't take my word for it. There's a reason why it's called combat breathing and why they teach it to all first responders. Anyone here who's a first responder or knows one or is related to one or married to one or whatever, they teach box breathing. One of my best friends, he's a Navy SEAL. He's been in 20 years active duty, SEAL Team 8. Guess what they do? Box breathing. They use box breathing to calm themselves down so they can think rationally in high stress situations. There's a reason why, guys. Why don't we all use this tactic? It's so insanely powerful. You got it. You can't unlearn it now. Practice it. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Do that for a minute and see how you feel. It's pretty undeniable. Way to go. Guys, this is so wonderful. I see all of these victories. Incredible victories over the week. Great job. Great job, friends. Okay. Rock and roll. Now, I just want to plant a seed, and then y'all can put me in the hot seat and let's have some fun. I'll answer questions. But I'm just going to throw this out here right now. Actually, there's a really phenomenal research study that was it's published in the BMJ, and this is actually one of there's quite a few studies that are actually done on this, on how to approach the holidays. And so a lot of times, and I just want to throw this out there, when you put this pressure on yourself, especially in the holiday season with culture, tradition, connection, and everything, I know food is a big part of that. It is. It's guys, it's ingrained in our humanity. And that's a beautiful thing. A lot of times, especially for those of us on the weight loss journey, we continue to put that pressure on ourselves to try to continue the weight loss journey during the holidays in a very, very difficult time. And in fact, I'm going to post a link to this kind of cool study right here. I'll post it on both. Here we go. I'm going to drop it into Facebook here, and now I'm going to drop it into Instagram here. And this is a fun one. They were looking actually at a behavioral intervention to prevent weight gain over the Christmas holiday. And what's really cool is that when individuals focus more on maintaining weight during the holiday, just maintaining, not losing weight, because when you put the pressure on yourself to lose weight, and sure enough, there's an unplanned indulgence. That stress triggers an entire downward spiral. And most people that continue to try to grind through and lose weight during the holiday season, a lot of them end up gaining weight because of the emotional spiral that it causes. And then again, eating to try to cover up those emotions, to try to numb those emotions. Whereas those that just say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to maintain through that's all I'm looking to do is just maintain weight over the holiday. Guess what? Most people are extremely successful at maintaining weight during the holiday and allowing themselves, planning those indulgences and those connections with people and the camaraderie, and just maintain weight through the holidays. And then come January, you're in a beautiful place along with all the other momentum with the world around you making, New Year's resolutions, but people are ready to go ahead and create a deficit and start losing weight again. So I'm just going to throw this out there for anyone who might be putting some pressure on yourself. Consider this. Consider taking that pressure off and stop thinking that you're going to lose weight through the holidays. And instead, maybe bring your calories up to maintenance. Now, what does that require? That requires you to know exactly how many calories your body's burning, or knowing very well how to eat in order for you to maintain. So a lot of people might be there, intuitive eating, and they just continue doing the same thing they've always been doing. Great. And if that works for you, wonderful. If it doesn't, it's always, to have the ultimate level of control would then be to understand how many calories your body's burning and then tracking them. And hold on, I'm going to give you guys something. So everyone is fully prepared. I'm going to drop a link to a calculator right here. Totally free calculator. Use it. Hold on. And I'm going to drop it over here in Facebook right now. Guys, free calculator. If you want to know how many calories your body's burning, then this will give you a maintenance level. Select maintenance. When you do the calorie calculator, you're going to enter your age, weight, height, gender, activity levels. Select maintain. And it will tell you how many calories you should be eating to maintain. And it's not exact, but it's pretty darn close. And then it'll shoot you a quick email and it'll say, hey, here's a program for you. Like basically, here's how many calories you should be eating and here's how much protein you should be eating to maintain. And I hope this helps. Again, guys, it is free. And then also it does, if you're interested, it will actually come with a whole transformation jumpstart kit if you want. So I really hope that helps you guys. Use it. Use the calculator. Find out exactly what your targets are and just aim to hit those targets. And then watch. It'll be so much easier throughout the holidays, and you're not going to feel all that regret and all that shame or anything. And then you're in a beautiful position to start dropping after that. So I hope that helps. All right. Let me see. Okay, guys, hot seat. Let's go. Ask me anything. We'll rock and roll. Here we go. Scrolling down to the bottom of Insta. Let me see here. Okay. Great question. Kim G480. Do workouts stay the same during maintenance? They absolutely can. Yes. I would say maintain, like, if you want, you could possibly, here's the thing, you're eating more calories, so you're going to have more energy. And so if you want, you can always increase your volume a little bit and you might find something really cool starts to happen. All right. Now guys, we can have some fun here. If you've been at a calorie deficit, right, your body could be a little bit stressed. That happens in a calorie deficit. And so there's cortisol release and everything. And a lot of times you might start to retain a little bit of water because of the cortisol. And then there's also metabolic adaptation, right? We're starting to become very familiar with this. And that's when people create a calorie deficit and it works over time. Then all of a sudden they're doing the same thing and they're just not losing weight anymore. Well, a few different things could be happening. Your body actually does go through changes and it starts to reduce energy from certain systems. Sometimes your immune system, sometimes your reproductive system, but also subconsciously people move less. Your body's a brilliant mechanism, right? And I say this all the time. It's built for survival, not transformation. And so you start moving less and you don't even realize it. You just fidget less. And guess how many calories we burn throughout the day just fidgeting? A lot. We burn a lot of calories. In fact, up to 10, 15% of the calories we burn every day is from tapping our foot on the ground and just these tiny little movements. We do less of that when we're actually at a calorie deficit. So when you bring your calories up to maintenance, and I'm going to get to the workouts, when you bring them up to the maintenance, you'll start moving more. Energy is going to come back to system. Your immune system will get boosted. I can't think of a better time to do that than during the holidays. So your immune system should actually get more energy, get a little bit of boost in there. So does the reproductive system. So you might find libido can come back a little bit more as well. But then on top of that, now you got more energy. So you could actually have more energy to put into if you're resistance training. You might find yourself getting a few extra reps. And because of that, there could be a stronger stimulus for growth. So a lot of times when people actually go from a deficit into maintenance, all of a sudden you don't gain anything. Remember, you're maintaining. You're not in a surplus, so there's no gain. So all of a sudden your body weight might stall out on purpose. It's planned. But here's something else you might notice. Your weight on the scale might stall, but the scale doesn't tell you the whole picture. It just tells you one measurement. That's the gravitational pull that the Earth has on your mass. It's not going to measure your body composition. So your weight stalls, and you're maintaining, and all of a sudden you drop a pant size and you're like, but the weight's the same. Yeah. And then you drop a shirt size, but your weight's the same. And you look at a picture and it goes, oh, your cheeks are a little more sunk in. Oh, I can see your cheekbones. Oh, I can see your chin. You're like, whoa, this is weird. What's going on? Well, your body can actually go through a little bit of a recomp, if you will. Recomposition, where you're consuming more calories and your body goes, great, now maybe I can build a little bit of muscle. And even though you're maintenance, it can still happen very, very slightly. You can build a little muscle and continue to lose a little bit of fat. It can happen. And so enjoy this beautiful, magical time when you take yourself into maintenance. Keep hitting your protein goals, keep working out. Great question. And thank you so much for asking that. If you want, you can increase the volume just a little bit, or you can keep it the same. It's all good. But you might want to do a couple extra sets just because you can, and you'll feel it. Okay. Here we go. Spicy Jackrabbit. Let me answer your question really quick. Spicy Jackrabbit. Thoughts on reverse dieting to start? You've heard reverse diet and strength training. You build calories so there's something to cut while staying healthier, calorie range. So here's the thing, reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is typically when you've been in a calorie deficit for quite some time. And this is what the reverse dieting might look like. Say maintenance is 2,200 calories. And over the course of your diet, you started at 1,800 calories and you lost. There's a 400 calorie deficit. Then you took yourself to 1,700 calories. And then you took yourself to 1,600 calories. And then 1,500 calories, and you think, okay, hold on, I need a diet break here, or I've hit my goal, and now it's time to take myself back up to maintenance. This is a beautiful transition right here. So the question is, do you then slowly bring yourself up? And so reverse dieting is the concept where you go from 1,500 calories to maybe 1,650, and then you stay there for a couple of weeks. And then you bring yourself to 1,750 or 1,800. Stay there for a couple of weeks. And then 2,100. And then eventually you bring yourself back up to 2,200 calories, right? Which is your maintenance or whatever that is. It's literally slowly stepping yourself back up, just like you had stepped yourself down. So here's the thing. Technically, I know a lot of people choose to do that, and coaches will often coach people to do just that, to reverse diet. I think it can be very powerful psychologically, so that people can eventually get used to slowly bringing calories back up. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make is they go, oh, I'm going to bring myself to maintenance. And they don't do it, and they don't track it properly. And they blow it out. It turns into a free-for-all where they're not tracking at all. They're like, oh, I'm in maintenance. No, they don't realize it, but they quickly went into a 400 calorie surplus. And then they start gaining again. So I think psychologically, especially for some, it could be a really good thing so that they can learn the behaviors of, and they can create body awareness of what it's like to eat more over time. However, technically, you don't have to. You could literally take the jump right back up to maintenance. And as long as you are tracking and you're tracking honestly, then it really, again, there's benefits to both. But technically, you should not gain a pound at all. And other people have done that, made the jump right back up to maintenance extremely successfully. But as long as you're not in a calorie surplus, you'll be okay. You're going to be okay. So you choose the path that you feel is best for you. There's multiple ways to do this and to do it well. So it's really about you and what you feel is right. So I hope that helps, Spicy Jackrabbit. It's great. I just had a conversation with a Spicy Jackrabbit. I love it. Okay, here we go. Actually, I'm gonna take this off the screen. Here we go. I'm looking for, okay, Crystal says, do I have a recipe to make protein balls with my protein powder? You know what's so crazy, Crystal? I've never been asked that before. Actually, maybe I have way back in the past. I don't right now. My favorite, don't get me wrong, I love my protein powders. I mean, I formulated them. They're delicious. But you know, the protein balls that I love the most are those Kodiak protein balls. They're so good. The Kodiak chocolate chip and oat protein balls are absolutely delicious. And I've just been hooked on those for a while. But you know what? We can make some pretty delicious ones. Let me work on a recipe. That's a really good question. I like that. Let me see. Okay, more questions. Let me see here. Michael, what are my thoughts on a GLP-1 called Drop? You put it in water and have it mixed. Reviews about it. What do I think? I'm not familiar with Drop. That's interesting. All of them, they all come in a powder form, and then they have to be mixed with a reconstitution solution, like a water. But not sure. I've actually never heard of Drop. The only ones I'm familiar with, I mean, currently are going to be semaglutide and then tirzepatide. Those are the two that are FDA approved. And then next year should be the third one, GLP-3, called retatrutide, which is extremely powerful. So I'll keep an eye out for something called Drop. I got to look that up. Okay. Linnea, if you do start carb cycling and have, what's up, Linnea? And have days of fatigue, should you change to a high carb day to prevent you from eating sugar that day or just fight it? No, if you actually feel yourself feeling any sort of irritability or, you know me, I like to use the word agitation, where you just, you feel like you're just fighting the hunger and the cravings or anything like that. This is why when carb cycling, and if anyone here is carb cycling, I love to go through, this is why I like to do 3 high carb days and 3 low carb days. And you really start to feel which day your body responds best to. The days that you have the most energy, and it's a split across the board. Half the individuals I've ever worked with do great on high carb days. The other half do really well on low carb days. And it's completely unique to you in the way that your genes are expressing themselves in your body. And so again, people thrive on different combinations. So it's really important. This is why I love carb cycling, because after a week or 2 of carb cycling, you become very familiar with the macro breakdown that your body responds best to. And you can very quickly identify which kinds of meals that you could not just lose weight on, because if you create a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight, right? However, what's the macro breakdown that's going to give you the most energy, the most mental clarity and focus, and reduce hunger and cravings? Because it's important that you pay attention while you're doing your high carb day test and your low carb day test, right? And so you pay attention and maybe even journal while you're going through it, and you realize, oh, I thrive on low carb days. I feel so much better, got crazy mental clarity. I'm not nearly as hungry. And then usually on the other days is where you're like, I'm hungry all the time. I'm exhausted. I'm crashing throughout the day, whatever. And it's, again, some people do great on high carb days and horrible on low carb days. Others do great on low carb days and horrible on high carb days. When you find that out, it's like, wow, you've got that now. And then you can use that as you move forward in your transformation. So now create a deficit and let's carb cycle around the meals that you thrive on, high carb or low carb. Okay, so that's part 1. So and then here's what we do. I'm giving you guys like the secret sauce right here. This is what we do. And like, even as we go through the challenge and as we go, and even in the collective, when you've identified which one you do really well on, say you do really well on a high carb day and horrible on low carb days. And like Linnea, you're like, I'm hungry and I'm exhausted, I'm foggy. You bring more carbs into those low carb days and you cycle between high and moderate carb days. That's where you go. And then you start to get the kind of the best of both worlds. Or if you do great on low carb days and horrible on high carb days, you bring your high carb days down to moderate carb days. And then once again, you start to get the best of both worlds. And it's just this light bulb experience. And then you are in control. And not only do you get to create a deficit for weight loss, but you get to feel good while you're going through it. And then you just volumize the heck out of all your food with veggies and everything to help make you feel fuller longer, et cetera. Get all that fiber in your diet and you're good to go. So I hope that helps. Here's what I'm going to suggest, that with the days that you struggle on, adjust those carbs, either adjust them down or adjust them up. And then you should be good to go. You should actually start to feel a lot more balance. Over and over and over again, every single time that people make the adjustment, they feel so much better. So I hope that helps. Okay. All right. Here we go. Great question. For people who are beginners in the gym, here we go. Beginners, pay attention. Is a personal trainer recommend to learn the machines, routines, etc., to build strength? I've been eating at a calorie deficit for a couple of months. Wonderful. Lost 15 pounds. Good job. Gained 1 pound of muscle by just walking. Oh my gosh. Okay. So taking some cardio classes and some weights. If you're at a calorie deficit, this is what it is so critical that we start to bring in resistance training so that you don't lose muscle. And I don't listen, whether you are using a GLP-1 medication or not, or you're simply lifestyle based, when you are losing weight, you are going to lose muscle. Unless you're using, a hormone replacement therapy and your calories and your protein is high enough, you might be able to almost maintain. But again, if you're losing weight, you're going to lose muscle. Now, how can we prevent that from happening? How can we essentially implement damage control and maintain as much muscle as possible? resistance training and hitting your protein targets. That is critical. It's critical on the journey. Again, whether you are solely lifestyle based or utilizing a GLP-1 medication, or you had gastric bypass surgery, or whatever tool you're using. If you're losing weight, it's very important. Renee, I think now, probably more than ever, is such a crucial time for trainers, because and I know the whole world of GLP-1s is like terrifying, because it was like, this is going to completely change the landscape. Yeah, it does a little bit. Here's what it does. It just makes it easier to hit your calorie targets. But now more than ever, it is crucial for trainers to step up and for people to seek out trainers to learn how to resistance train the right way, because the statistics are the numbers are the numbers. It's really hard to argue with them that 40% of the weight lost for individuals who are utilizing GLP-1 medications, 40% of that weight lost is coming from muscle. And that is if they're not resistance training and they're not focusing on hitting their protein targets. It's not the medication that's eating your muscle. It's the severe calorie deficit and the lack of any sort of stimulus to keep the muscle. So your body's brilliant. It's going to go, you don't use it, you lose it. I'm going to eat it because you're at a massive calorie deficit. I'm starving. I need energy, and I'm going to cannibalize this delicious muscle right now. And your metabolic rate, it drops way faster than it should. I mean, not only that, but you're left losing a significant amount of muscle. And then, of course, if you do gain it back, then the majority of the weight you gain back is fat, not muscle. It is critical that you maintain your muscle on the weight loss journey. And that's on GLP-1s. Off GLP-1s, still, for every 10 pounds lost, remember, on a GLP-1, 10 pounds lost, 4 pounds likely coming from muscle. And a lot of that's coming from the severe calorie deficit. It's hard to create such a calorie deficit if you're doing it naturally, unless you're just white knuckling it. If you're doing it naturally, it's usually a much more moderate calorie deficit. And so typically we'll see 2 to 3 pounds of muscle lost if you're doing it naturally. That's when I was working with my peeps on the show, there were no GLP-1 medications, and all of them, they all lost muscle. Some of them were able to maintain a decent amount because we were resistance training. Everybody resistance trained. Everybody did. It was mandatory. And anyone who's using a GLP-1 who's following one of my programs, resistance training and hitting your protein targets is mandatory. It is absolutely mandatory. You can't just use a GLP-1 and just starve yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. So it's really important that we do it the right way. So Renee, great question. I think trainers are necessary now. They are going to be very much in need. Think about that through the holidays. Maybe a little New Year's gift to yourself is to get a trainer and learn how to lift properly. And it'll be a game changer for you. I really hope that helps. Okay. Jen Schaefer 3, great question. Why did I go on a GLP-1 instead of doing workouts and counting calories? I've been doing workouts and counting calories, and I still do my workouts and count calories for like 20 years now. And so for me, and by the way, I didn't go on everything is going through my physician, and a long conversation with them as we've explored it. I'm really curious. And by the way, I will also drop in a massive slew of all the literature done on inflammation. So most of us, our bodies are inflamed, our environment, our food, everything. And so I'm really, really curious, after doing a decent amount of studying myself, on reducing the inflammation in my body. Also beyond that, I'm using half the minimum dose because I really want to experience this. I talked about this a little bit in my stories. Especially when it comes to guiding. I'd say half of the people that I'm working with right now are using GLP-1 medications. They are becoming more and more popular. And even beyond that, the literature continues to come out showing more and more incredibly positive benefits far beyond weight loss. And you know how much weight I've lost? 0. You know how much I'm going to lose? 0. I'm not interested in the weight loss aspect of it. I'm really interested, especially on the inflammation side of it. And then also, yes, the other side of that is I really want to experience it so I understand what it feels like, so I can help navigate. Guys, I've been, consider like a Sherpa, right? Helping people climb the mountain for a long time. And now we've got some brand new snowshoes. And I need to know what they're wearing, and I need to know what it feels like so I can help them navigate it as best as I possibly can. And there's a lot of, it's funny, there's a lot of opinions about it, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. This is absolutely my journey. I've been studying these for years now, and I chose now, just a few weeks ago, I said, yes, I am ready, and I'm really curious to see what this is like. I'm curious to see how my blood work changes. I'm also curious to see what I can do with my body composition, because I'm not going to gain or lose a pound. I'm going to maintain. And all these people are losing weight on it. I'm not going to. I'm going to maintain my body weight. I'm going to hit all my targets, and I'm going to continue to train. So that's my journey, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And I'm excited to take my experience with 10 times more compassion and understanding for those who choose to use it, because I wholeheartedly support it. But I will never support somebody using a GLP-1 medication and not tracking their calories and not hitting their protein and not doing and not building the pillars of wellness around it. That's not what it's about. We need to be far more mindful and careful with these powerful, I mean, it's something, I mean, they are powerful tools that we can use. So they just have to be done, in my opinion, the right way. And so I'm really excited to step into it, and I'm going to experience it for probably 12 weeks. And then I'm going to come into it and by the way, my knowledge just in the last 3 weeks of feeling it, it's listening to my people who've been using them for a year, 2 years now. And now at feeling it, I can communicate with them on a level that is far beyond what I even anticipated 3 weeks ago. And it's like, oh my gosh, I get it now. I understand. And that's what I'm seeking to do, is just understand and feel. And I'm excited to see what this does also with my blood markers, with my liver enzymes, with everything, the reduction in inflammation, systemic inflammation. Holy smokes. Let's go. And it's really interesting. I don't mind sharing this with you guys. Since I shared it, I had a bunch of my friends who are some of everyone's favorite influencers. They reached out and they said, oh my gosh, dude, I'm so glad you shared that. I've been microdosing it for, 4 months. I had no idea, but it's like a lot more people are doing it than you might think. And it's like, no, yeah, I'm absolutely open about sharing it, and I'm going to share it transparently, because I'm curious about it for myself, for all the reasons I just explained, but also to connect with my people. So you can judge if you want, but that's kind of where I'm at. And this is my journey. So I'm excited about it. Here we go. Best way to tone and tighten after massive weight loss, especially when all you have are home workouts. Okay. So toning and tightening, that's the translation of that is build muscle, lose a little bit more. After massive weight loss, sometimes it can be a little difficult to see it because you're going to have some loose skin. So as far as that goes, you can only do so much about loose skin. Honestly, one of the best ways to pull it tight is going to be a surgery. Actually, I just posted about this the other day as well. And heads up, you are not alone. And there will be millions more people with loose skin coming down the pipeline here pretty soon because of access to some of these medications. Now, we can only hope. We can only hope that they're doing it the right way and they're maintaining their muscle. Because if you can build that muscle underneath when you've got the loose skin, it will give it the appearance of being tighter, of giving you those curves. So especially when all you have are home workouts. Well, that's all you need, actually, are home workouts. You don't have to go to a gym. Really, there are 10 essential movements that I always like to promote, that I suggest that people do, that will target every main muscle group of the body. And those are going to be squats. And if you can do a lot of squats, do Bulgarian split squats. So you can isolate each leg and you can stimulate it for growth. Hip thrusts are amazing. And if you can do hip thrusts all day long, do single leg hip thrusts. So you can isolate that glute. Hamstring sliders, calf raises, push-ups off the couch or off the floor if you get there. Rows with a detergent bottle or dumbbells. You've got bicep curls, tricep extensions. You got sit-ups. You got lateral delt raises. There you go. That's 10. That's all you need to do. And if you do those and you take each and every set till failure, till you can't do any more, the muscle doesn't know a dumbbell or a detergent bottle. The muscle doesn't know a cable machine or a push-up. It doesn't. The muscle only knows tension. And you can create tension at home just like you can in the gym. So keep that in mind. The muscle knows tension and intensity. And if in order for that set to really count for you to get the stimulus that you need to maintain or grow that muscle, the muscle needs to be significantly fatigued to the point where your brain is saying go and the muscle says no. Because it says the muscle, as your brain is trying to recruit more fibers because it just can't go anymore, that's the stimulus that it needs in order to get it to grow. So once you do that a couple times, for a couple sets, then you rest it, you feed it, and you sleep, and it will grow. Kind of like you're growing a plant, because it'll grow in slow motion. And so build the muscle underneath, and that will really help. I will really hope that helps. Okay. Let me see here. More questions. Let me see. I'm looking down here. Okay. Oh, here we go. Kyle Brown, struggling to stop grazing. What can you do to break this habit? The first thing you did to break the habit, you just took step one. You're aware of it. So awareness is huge. The second thing you can do is there's not necessarily anything wrong with grazing. Where you might be slipping up is what you're grazing on. And whatever's easiest for you to get to, if it's within reach, that's typically what you're going to go for. So if you can simply remove the foods that you're not wanting to graze on and put other foods, alternative foods within reach. And by the way, don't take my word for this. Do a Google search. Hey, ChatGPT, pull up some research. Actually, even better yet, guys, for those of you who have ChatGPT, there's a GPT called Consensus, and it actually pulls from all the peer review literature. And so if you really want to get down into the nitty gritty of all this stuff, go to Consensus, and it will pull all of the peer review literature. So go on there and say, pull up some studies on accessibility of foods and behavior change. And it will pull up all these studies all about taking the foods that you don't want to graze on, the M&Ms, the chips, anything that comes in a box or a bag, right? Get them out of the way. Either get them out of the house, remove them from the environment altogether, and then put something in your place. Get some beef jerky in front of you. Get a bunch of fruit. And if it's within reach, then dude, graze on blueberries all day long. And let me tell you, if they're grazing on blueberries all day long, trust me, it's going to be hard to gain weight. But put all those really healthy options or alternatives in your place. That's what I would suggest. Because it's a psychological thing, and it's a behavioral thing, and an environmental thing. So I would highly recommend you check that out. And then that way you can create an environment for success, and it's around you all the time, and you're good to go. Here we go. Let me see. Okay. Looking for more questions here. Any more questions? Let me see. I see a congratulations in place for Cloudy Maui. Lost 95 pounds in 4 months. Yes, good job. Now train boxing, strength and conditioning 6 days a week. Heck yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah, this is so awesome. Great job. All right. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, I just looked at the time. We're looking at, I gotta jump to a meeting. I got 5 minutes. Okay, rock and roll. My friends, hey, great questions. And let's continue the conversation. Again, open book. Ask whatever you want, especially on my own journey, which again, I'm really excited to share with you guys. So yeah, let's have some fun. Guys, thanks so much for joining. I'm going to make an announcement in a couple hours on my stories. We're going to pick 3 winners, and I'll let you all know. You're going to get the Deliciously Fit book and the Beginner's Guide to Carb Cycling. So, hey, let's get you guys started. Focus. Hey, real quick, let's go back. Focus on maintaining right now through the holidays. It'll be huge for a lot of you. And if not, if you feel like, yeah, you've got this you got this under control, you've got your hunger managed, cravings managed, everything, and you're like, I'm good losing weight. Hey, stay your course. Great job. You're going to get a running head start into the new year. Everyone else, we're going to rock and roll into the new year. It's Cyber Monday. So as far as the latest deals go, the book, It is $17, normally 27. So you can get Deliciously Fit, 120 recipes to support your journey. Whether you're doing it lifestyle based or on GLP-1s, you still have to eat high protein foods. Don't forget this. So if you want 120 high protein recipes of your favorite comfort foods, get it. So enjoy that. And then HQ, all the transform shakes and everything, they're on sale right now, 40% off. And then actually, I'll drop all the links in right now. Hey, Shine, let's go ahead and can we give them some links? And then Thrive Lab, for anyone who's interested in exploring a GLP-1, they are doing 50% off tirzepatide for this first month. And so we'll throw that in there as well. For anyone who's interested, you can check that out. But again, meet with a physician, and there you go. There's Thrive Lab. And I'll put that right there for anyone who's interested. And consult with a physician. Do your research, please. It's really important. This is your body. And so very important that you do that. And then here's for anyone who's wanting 40% off shakes. There you go. I'll say for Transform HQ. Boom. I'll send that to y'all right there. And whoops. Hold on. There. And I'm going to post that here. And then I'm going to give you one more, Deliciously Fit. There we go. Oh, shoot. You know what? I don't have the Deliciously Fit link right here. Shine, if you could give it to him, that'd be awesome. Oh, here we go. I'll copy it right here. Boom. Deliciously Fit. Black Friday deals. If anyone's interested, support your journey. Guys, rock and roll. Have a wonderful week ahead. I'll see you guys next Monday. Hey, I'm going to El Salvador tomorrow. I'm going to go check this place out. It's going to be super awesome. I'm actually heading down to, they've got a longevity clinic down there. And it is amazing. Oh, hold on. Just got an error that when I tried to share that. So yeah, guys, I'm going to head down. So I'll be sharing, I'll be doing some stories and everything from El Salvador. So stay tuned. This is going to be fun. All right, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Oh, Dixie Girl, name of the book is Deliciously Fit. It's 120 comfort food recipes. Right now, $17, normally 27. So great time to get it. It's the cheapest you'll ever see it. That's for, and it comes with a guide that will teach you how to use all the recipes to carb cycle, to build your own carb cycling program. All right, guys. Hey, love y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for participating today. You guys are awesome. Have a wonderful week. See you guys. Bye.